So you see, that's where the trouble began. That smile. That damn smile.
Hello, Chelsea fans of the internet. I'm your local Blue here, and today we're going to be talking about the 2-0 win versus Newcastle, which puts us from 6th to 4th. We're now on 42 points, I think, and now we are truly in this race. We are going to give these top 4 teams hell. I'm telling you right now, we are going to give them hell in the next few upcoming games. We have teams like Manchester United who are going to come up, and if we beat them, we're only going to be 1 point behind them. So they better, other teams better be scared of us right now, because even though it didn't look like we were in the position to get a top 4 place this season, we are so definitely in it. And now we are above Liverpool and West Ham in 4th place. And now I just want to get into this game immediately because there were so many good things to talk about this game. There were, as far as the opposition Newcastle played, they didn't really pressure us. Our defense kind of had had a field day. Like, they were just very comfortable sitting in the back. But I think Kepa was tested a lot. But before we talk about Kepa, let's just go into the players right now. For the overall game for us, it was a very good win. It's 3 points that we very much needed in order to get top 4. Many people were skeptical about whether or not we could pull this off. But overall, good result for the team, not just for the team, but also for the players. And now let's just dive into this, because I want to talk about this game. I want to talk about how well we played. And let's start with Kepa right now. So Kepa played very well. He was very much tested by Newcastle, even though, like I said, they didn't really have many chances on target, but they got a few shots on, and there was 2 particular instances in mind that I have in my mind. There was one where Shelby took the free kick, and it kind of required Kepa to get fast reflexes in order to save that, because he was basically on the left side of the goal, and Shelby basically shot it to the right post, but it looked like it was going to go in. Kepa did really well to save that. And there was also a moment when I forgot who, Almiron, I think that's his name. I think he took a shot on the right side of the goal, and Kepa, very good reflexes again. He was just literally like a Spider-Man this game. He was just like fast reflexes all around, very comfortable for him. He was just very commanding at the back. I would say out of all the defense today, obviously our goalkeeper is like the most important aspect of our defense, but out of everyone in that defense today, he was the most comfortable, he was the most commanding, and yeah, just pretty good performance from Kepa. And whether or not this is the start of his comeback into the squad, or whether or not he's gonna overtake Mendy, you just have to be happy for Kepa, because Kepa just someone who lacks very much a lot of confidence needed for him, kind of like Timo Werner. But I would say that people give Werner more attention to Kepa. That's maybe like a large assumption to say, but that's how I feel. But Kepa definitely needed the confidence today, and I'm pretty sure because of how well he played, he's definitely going to boost his morale and his confidence for the future. So that's my stance on Kepa. Going on to the defense, because basically for me, Azpilicueta, Christensen, and Rudiger all had decent games. They all played at the same level. Maybe I saw Azpilicueta be more involved in the attack. Christensen and Rudiger were definitely more defensive. They did well though, stopping like people like Saint Maximin, who we know is a talented footballer, who likes to bypass people and do this, basically like all these flicks and stuff like that. He was very, very vibrant in that game, Saint Maximin. But our defense, specifically Christensen and Rudiger, did a very good job in dealing with them. So very good from them. Fair play to them. That's basically our defense. Our defense was like basically calm, as you can be in a game like that, but we also played well, so I'm very happy with the defense today. Now moving on to the midfield, Hudson-Odoi again, very, very deadly on the attack, on the wing specifically. He has basically taken over James's role, because James's role was mostly like moving alongside the right wing. He basically occupied that whole side, but it looks like now Tuchel has preferred to put Hudson-Odoi over James in that position. And you know what? Hudson-Odoi has been very impressive throughout the whole time that he's been playing on that position. He's very much an attacking minded player, but he's not afraid to come back and help out the defense. So very, like, there were instances where he would just get the ball up, like he'd just be open there, him and Mount. He'd just be open on the right, and he was always like dishing out crosses. Most of them went across the face of the net, and it's pretty upsetting to see that no one could have gotten to the end of those chances. It could have been 3, 4, 5-0, as far as I'm concerned. But very good performance by Hudson-Odoi. Very much needed in the squad now. He's basically as irreplaceable as Mount, I would assume. Now moving on to Jorginho. Jorginho, let's talk about the pivot again, because we have to talk about how vital that Jorginho Kovacic pivot is. Like, their link up is just so important and instrumental to our win today. Kovacic again, I would say, besides Werner, he was my man of the match. He was very vibrant, very, very cool on the ball. He's always someone who's just very, very relaxed on the ball. And when I say relax, I'm not talking about like he has to make a pass or two, but to be able to dribble skillfully across players, Newcastle players, he just did that today. And there were many times when he was involved with Mount. Like, there was one instance with Kovacic where he and Mount linked up, and the next thing you know, he gives the ball to Abraham. And I think he also provided the ball to Abraham, where Abraham sadly got fouled. But before we talk about that, Kovacic had a pretty good game today. Again, he's just a straight up baller. You have to be appreciative of this player that we have. Kovacic, very good player. Again, very, very needed in the squad as well. Now moving on to Jorginho. Jorginho was not as much involved as I would have liked him to, like as he was in previous games. But I would say he still helped with the attack. You know, he's always there to like come back and help the center backs occasionally when we're looking to press forward. But again, didn't really notice anything of him today. I'm sorry if you guys think he had like an amazing game, but I just didn't really see him this game at all. I'm not saying he played bad. I just didn't really notice how much he was involved. He was just kind of there. But you know, like some other players, like Alonso, I would say as well. Like, they were just very calm today. Now let's just talk about Alonso. In fact, Alonso was pushing up a lot, though. I would say, despite him being a lot more calmer than he was in previous games, he was definitely pushing up. He was definitely getting himself involved in the attacks as well. And I would say it was a pretty good performance by Alonso. But now we have to go into the debate about whether or not Chilwell should come back into the squad for Alonso. Like, we know Chilwell is a good fullback, but because we're playing in this 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-1-2 formation, whatever you guys want to call it, obviously that means that Chilwell would have to play as like a left wing back. And the way that he's been playing, like, there was a time when Tuchel actually put Chilwell in that position. I forgot which game. I think the Sheffield game, and he ended up taking him off because Chilwell was just so, like, his role was not being fulfilled in that position. Like, whatchamacallit, he was just not up to the standards in that position. And I think Alonso pretty much suits that. Like, that's basically Alonso's position. Like, we know he can do that from previous years, and we don't know whether or not Chilwell could fit into this formation. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Alonso and Chilwell fight for their positions. But overall, Alonso had a good game, so could be a lot tougher than most people would expect. Now going on to Mount, Mason Mount. Again, very influential on the pitch again, all over the pitch. He's always looking for players to put in. He put in a few through balls, which I wouldn't say always worked, but he was definitely looking for chances where he saw them. Again, just someone that we can't bench, someone who's always just so influential. Maybe not as, like, he wasn't necessarily sparkling as much as he was in previous games, but he definitely was there. His impact definitely was there. And yeah, very good performance by Mount. Now going on to Abraham. It's very sad with the case with Abraham. Abraham is someone who we relied on a lot last season, and he was someone who always provided goals and assists for us. And, you know, seeing him being dragged off of the pitch, it just brings out like a different emotion from you. Like, I was just very upset for Abraham, genuinely upset. And if you look back at my stream, you can, I don't know if I sounded that upset, but I genuinely felt like, oh man, this player who keeps on getting injured has just gotten himself injured again, and who knows the next time he could come back and play for us again. But Giroud came on for Abraham, and Giroud again finding himself as the useful sub. He is such a clutch player to put on whenever you need someone to make an impact, and it's all because of Werner. Because Werner was able to like put a cross in, and it was like a bit of a deflection, and it was just an easy tap in for Giroud. But Giroud is still finding himself, finding a way to make an impact in the squad, and I would say Giroud is just someone who, because Abraham's out, we might have to consider putting in Giroud, starting Giroud now, because his impact is just there. He might have not done anything else besides score today, but he still got that goal, and he's just someone who can just bring up the goals and assists on your team, and I feel like he did what he had to do today. It wasn't the best performance by him, because he's not really like someone who stands out because of his performance, but he stands out because of his goals and assists, and you know what? Yeah, that's enough for me, man. We need people to score goals. We need people to score assists, and that's what he did today. And now going on to my man of the match, the baller, Timo Werner, and it was just so genuinely happy to see how happy Werner was, because it was like he scored, right, very happy for him, but then it went to VAR. But then eventually when VAR decided it was a goal, he had a bright smile on his face, and you know what, that was just very empowering, and it really gives a message that from us fans that we just have to keep on supporting Timo. And Timo's he's basically finding his shred again, is what I'm trying to say. And being able to get any goal or any assist is very important for Timo, not because he's a bad player, but because he definitely needs that confidence back. He needs to be able to find his shred again in this team, and that genuine happiness in his face when he got the goal. It's just something that we want to see in the future. We want to see Timo happy because we know he's been struggling so far this season. And yeah, I'm just very happy with Timo. He's definitely my man of the match. He basically provided the assist for Giroud, and he provided the assist for Giroud, and he got the goal, making it 2-0. So my man of the match, no doubt about it. He's a fighter till the end. He will find his shred again, believe it. And now moving on to James, who was subbed on for Hudson-Odoi. James, again, is fighting for his role with Hudson-Odoi at the moment. I said before that Hudson-Odoi was, took over James's role basically in this team. But I would argue that James still has some qualities that are just as important for this team as Hudson-Odoi's. So again, just like the battle between Alonso and Chilwell and Hudson-Odoi and James, it's going to be very interesting to see which two players are going to come out on top. We've seen Chilwell and James mostly on the wings, but now we're seeing the Alonso and Hudson-Odoi wingers. So it's going to be very interesting to see who wins their positions by the end of the season, because this team is still changing, and it's not just we have a fixed squad yet, because we have Tuchel right now. We have a new manager, we have a new mindset. And as commentators said in that game, this is not a fixed team yet. We're still pretty much adapting to which players can find, which players are best for this team. That's why we haven't seen Ziyech, Havertz, Pulisic yet. I think Pulisic and Ziyech are injured, but we haven't seen Havertz yet being integrated into the squad. So wait, Havertz wasn't even in this game. Never mind. So we haven't seen Pulisic or Ziyech really integrate themselves in this team yet, probably because of the formation. So whether or not they're going to be back into the squad, we're going to see. But it's all about finding the right team at the moment, and I feel like eventually we're going to find that team again. Going on to Conte, very bright, very much attacking. I'm not sure if he was placed in the pivot, the Kovacic-Jorginho pivot, or he was just placed as an attacking midfielder, kind of like what Mount was doing, because Conte did come on for Mount. So Conte, again, he had very little time, but the little I did see, he looked very impressive. Yeah, I'm just very excited to see what happens in the future. But that's going to be it for me, guys. That is my reaction to the win over Newcastle. It was a very well-fought win, a deserved win from us. But now that puts us into 4th place, and now we are sitting very comfortably. And just a few months ago, it looked very bleak for us under Lampard, but now under Tuchel, people can see now we still haven't lost a game under Tuchel. I also have to mention that we haven't lost a game. We've won every match but one, which we tied in, and that was our first match. He literally had only one day to prepare our team, but now we are sitting comfortably in the top 4. But now I feel like we can go higher, and that's not me being selfish or anything. I genuinely feel like this team could go higher, and we're gonna see how the rest of the season carries out. I've just been rejuvenated with life, rejuvenated with excitement for this team, and it's gonna be very exciting to see what happens. And I'm just so happy with how the team is going right now. We definitely could be playing a lot better. I'm not saying that this performance in general was just like a very overwhelming performance, but I am definitely excited to see what happens in the future. And that's gonna be it from me, guys. Comment down below on your reaction to the game. Let me know who you thought shined out or standed out in that game. And I've been your local blue, and follow me on Twitter at your local blue if you're interested in that. But that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it from me, guys. I've been your local blue. I already said that. And let me just end the stream, not the stream, the video before I make it any much more of a fool of myself. Peace.